Are you ready for the best damn sports show on the radio? Man Hour Nation, rise up!
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know, ain't no more to the sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, still listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live, all 3 speakers go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckheischer here with the Man Hour. Head over to manhourradio.com and check out the merchandise page. We got new merch dropping here in just a few days. The waffle merch will be live June 2nd. That is when waffle merch will officially be dropped. And quite frankly, guys, I'm excited for you guys to see what we have in store for you for the waffle merch. Wyatt has no idea what is going on. He has no idea it is dropping June 2nd. So I'm going to pre-order mine, get it rushed in here so that June 2nd I can wear it and flex on Mr. Waffle himself. We do got some action-packed show tonight. We have a special guest. We'll welcome in on him in just a minute. We're going to break down the AFC East. We got the infamous game, the Guess Who? And of course, we got Liar tonight here on the Wednesday edition of the Man Hour. And if you're going to miss any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. And of course, Big X Sports Radio every Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. East Coast time. So let's go ahead and welcome the peanut butter to my jelly, the pickles to my ladies, Mr. Man Hour _ Tori on Twitter. Mr. Tori Anderson, what's going on, Tori?
I am just happy to be back tonight. Last night was a little bit of a rough night for me, so extremely happy to be here. Glad to be back tonight. So, it's really hard to broadcast from the bathroom, I guess. So
yeah. So here on my outline of the show, Tori, it says, "Ask Tori how he lost weight so quickly." So apparently, Tori, you lost about 10 pounds in a 24-hour period. How did you do that, man?
Have whatever hit me like a freight train at about 2 p.m. yesterday. So that was not a fun 24 hours there. So
yeah,
I'm just
everything
glad
that goes in has got to come out at some point, but it all came out at one time. So
I had my own version of Guess Who, because I didn't know which end it was going to come on.
I want to go with the mouth. Joke's on you, Tori. Wow, that escalated quickly, right, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. But I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you're on tonight because we got a special guest for us tonight, Tori. What was it? Monday night, Tori. We spent 2 hours with this guy talking Detroit Lions and just football in general. Mr. Luke G himself. Luke G Field Review is where you can find him on YouTube. I'll post his YouTube link here in the chat momentarily. So Luke G, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. Man, y'all got the most fire introduction I have ever heard in my life. I love y'all intro, man.
Jay Tiggs is so I played football with like Jay Tiggs back in the day, and he does magic on the mic. He is not a rapper by like any means, but really? he does work for us. So anytime I say, hey man, spicing up some intro music for us, and he hammers it out. So we actually have a new intro coming after our break here in middle of like June. So really excited about that. So Tori's name might get added on there. Maybe not. You never know what is going on. What's going on, Drew? We see you in the chat over there. What's up, Jameson as well. Thank you guys for joining us. So Luke G has a Detroit Lions show that he does over on YouTube.com. You guys can find him. Tori, if you could post that link in the chat, that'd be highly, highly appreciated. So Luke G, tell us a little bit about what your show is like all about, where people can like find you and listen to you, etc.
So basically, I started a YouTube channel that's for Detroit Lions fans, by a Detroit Lions fan that talks all Detroit Lions football. And it's talking about sports in an objective way that allows for Detroit to have a medium that they don't really have right now. So you can definitely find me on Luke G's Field Review. I do podcast shows generally between 5 and 5:30 every day, Monday through Friday. Obviously, weekends I take off. But I do everything. I do film study. I do breaking news. You name it, I do it. And like I said, sometimes if you even want to join the show, you simply hit me up. I get you on the show. You don't like what I say, we can talk about it live on the show. Yeah. We can go at it. So it's always a fun time to do it. And like I said, the show I did with you guys, so many people just love what we did, and a lot of y'all amazing takes, especially Andy Dalton one. So yeah, you know,
mean like the facts are facts. All of the OGs here on the man hour know where I stand about Andy Dalton and Lamar Jackson and Gardner Minshew. So let me ask you this, Luke, before we get into topics of the day and the key question that I have here. What is your take on Lamar Jackson? Like, is he a top 10 quarterback? Is he an MVP? Or what is your take on Lamar?
I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. And to me, I don't think that he can be considered an MVP. I think when you look at the Ravens and you look at most fan bases, we always fall in love with the mobile quarterback. And it's for a good reason. But if you go back and you look at the success that the Ravens had, it was on the back of Mark Ingram and Edwards. And so once they shut that down, you still had a game where he played well enough that they could have won, but he wasn't a force multiplier. So to me, I think he has some more work to do. I think there's too many times he take off and he runs too soon before he go through all of his reads. But overall, I think he's a pretty good quarterback. I think he's got the smarts to be a great quarterback. But right now, I think it's still a work in progress. I just no way I can, in my right mind, put him in the top 10. I just can't do it.
Yeah. So ever since Lamar Jackson came into this league, when he was drafted, 31st or 32nd, overall, I think he was the last pick in the first round, if I'm not mistaken. I have been on this train that basically that Lamar Jackson is not going to be a good NFL quarterback. I said he is trash. He is a trash quarterback, and I'm still standing by that to this day. Yes, he won an MVP. Yes, he finally won a playoff game, but he is not a good quarterback. Yes, he wins a lot of games. He gets a lot of yards on the ground, but he is not a good quarterback. If you put him on any other division, they don't make the playoffs. I'm a firm believer. Just saying that. I don't think that he is a good quarterback whatsoever. He is trash. He is overrated. And this is me coming from Louisville, Kentucky, where Lamar Jackson played, and I saw that, and just people come at me all the time. The facts are facts. The facts are, yes, he won an MVP, but the truth is he is not going to last more than probably 6 years in the NFL. Since simple as that. Tori, what are your thoughts on that?
I think you're wrong. I'm going to tell you you're wrong. The only thing that will happen where your prediction comes correct is if Lamar Jackson does not become a more accurate passer and does not learn. We've seen it with every quarterback in the league that's been a scrambling quarterback. Sooner or later, you have to learn how to throw from the pocket because it's a death sentence to continue to be a mobile quarterback. So if he learns how to hang in the pocket, he learns how to make those little, 5-10 yard passes to up his completion percentage instead of trying to make the absolute. He goes for a home run literally every single play. Right. And you literally can't do that because it is literally not possible to do. But I think he learns. I think he progresses. I think he starts fitting within that system a little bit more this year. And I do think that you are going to see marked improvement from Lamar Jackson this year.
Yeah, I agree with Tori. I feel like when you just look at trash is a word that I say for very special people. These are the people who have no. He has talent though. You got to give him some. You got to give him some respect. He has talent. Trash people don't have talent. They have gotten there by misfortune. Like for example, Jamarcus Russell is trash. I can't put Lamar Jackson in the same boat as Jamarcus Russell. I can't do it.
Do you know why I put Lamar Jackson in that boat?
Okay.
Let me tell you why. On draft night, he said, and I quote, "I am bringing a Super Bowl to Baltimore my first 4 years in the NFL." Did he say that? Yes, he did. And the fan base put him up on this pedestal. You are going to be the savior of the NFL. You're going to be the greatest quarterback in the NFL. He had even put on he hadn't even tried on his helmet yet in the NFL, and they're already crowning this guy the new face of the NFL. So when you put some type of expectations on a player like that, like Lamar Jackson, and he put that expectations on himself, because this is his 4th year, isn't it? Going into the league, Tori, right?
Yes,
this is his 4th. So technically, this year is Super Bowl or bust, and it's going to be a bust because they are not going to get through the playoff gauntlet in the AFC. There's absolutely no way. Hell, the Kansas City Chiefs may not even make it through that gauntlet of the AFC. So that's why, to me, he is a trash quarterback, because he is not going to live up to his word. The fans put him up on this pedestal, and they defend him through tooth and nail, and it's just crazy to me.
So wait, let me make sure I'm hearing you clearly. He is trash because fans took what every NFL draftee say to heart, and so.
Whoa! Name one quarterback that said, "I'm bringing you a Super Bowl in the first four years."
Well, it's not a matter of me naming somebody who said that, but it's every draft person. Well, no, I'm just saying, but every draft person comes in and they definitely say things that is hot garbage. It's talk. They all do it. I remember it was Tark McKinley when he was like, "Yeah, I'm about to come in, I'm about to do this." Now you over there on a whole other team, not doing anything.
Holding on to the picture of his grandma the whole time.
Right. Yeah. Holding the picture of the grandmother. Okay. I've seen people come in and say all types of strange things. I've seen some people come in and I say nothing and still suck. They all talk. It is what it is. I think to be fair to him is you have to ask yourself the question of, was what he said something he should not have said? If you don't have high expectations for yourself, like what are you doing in life? You got to have high expectations for yourself. So I can't hold him to that. You can't hold him to it, but I can tell you this much. Do he need to improve on a lot of things? 100%. If there are things that I look at in his game where I'm questioning why he's relying on this more than that, yeah. But overall, trash, that's no. And again, this is coming from a guy who got Andy Dalton in top 15. This does not count. Okay.
Okay. This is how we're starting the show here, here, Luke. Okay. Let me go ahead and change some of my guess who names here, because I was going to keep it easy on you. But
can we hold on a minute, because I need to go put my referee shirt on, I think.
So speaking of guess who guys, we are going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we are going to play the new infamous game, Guess Who. You simply ask a yes or no question to figure out what athlete I am thinking. So Luke G, sit back and enjoy, because this is where Man Hour gets fun. We put our toe in the water just a tad bit, and then we go left real quick here on the Man Hour. So guys, sit back and enjoy. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and check out Luke G's channel as well. I did post it in the chat. And Drew, I did see your comments, and we will address those during Shop Talk tonight. So sit back and relax, guys. We'll be right back here on the Man Hour.
ManHourRadio.com.
Man Hour Nation brought to you by Brooks Roofing and Siding. Contact them at 812-868-7663 or online at brooksroofingin.com. Brooks Roofing and Siding, protection you need when nature strikes.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Bucktice along with Tori Anderson and Luke G tonight. Special guest here. Head over to Luke G's YouTube page. I posted it in the chat here. Guys, hit that subscribe button. Get him some love. And he puts on a great show there every Monday through Friday, right around 5:30 East Coast time. So check him out if you like the Detroit Lions football talk here. I mean, you should because you're watching the Man Hour, so you'll definitely like that talk. So let's go ahead and bring everybody back onto the screen here. You can find Tori at manhour_Tori on the old Twitter machine. And if you miss any part of the show whatsoever, you can youtube.com/manhour, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, and we upload the clips each and every day throughout the show here. So, guys, we do have a special segment here. We have Tori. We're about 1 month into this game, and this has arguably been a fan favorite here, kind of taken over. And we play it a lot, and we have a lot of fun with it. So, Tori, your record right now on the season for guess who? Where's it at here? Here it is. Oh yeah. 15-8. So Luke G, you have your back up against the wall right out of the gate. Tori is a seasoned veteran, so it is basically Tom Brady versus Trevor Lawrence right here. Week number 1. So we will see what happens. So since you are the guest here, Luke G, would you like to ask the first question or the second question tonight? And guess who?
I want to go first. I love having my back against the wall. This is how you got to come out fighting, back against the wall.
Okay. So what is your first question of the night?
Okay. Let's see. Does he play basketball?
He does not.
Do they play football?
Yes.
Trying to think. Is he in the NFC?
He is in the NFC.
Does he play for the Detroit Lions?
He does.
See, this is where I talk about the mind reading part, Luke.
Yep.
Listen, I see what you're doing here, but I feel pretty good. NFC, Detroit Lions. Okay, I think I'm feeling pretty good about it. Is it DeAndre Swift?
It is not DeAndre Swift.
Is it Jared Goff?
It is not Jared Goff.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm picking. I think I got this.
If you don't, I do.
I think I'm gonna beat you to it. Okay. I think I got it. All right. But I gotta ask a yes or no question. Is he a skill player?
He is a skilled player.
Is it TJ Hawkinson?
It is TJ Hawkinson.
That's what I was going to say. Damn it.
My man, Tori.
I thought you were going to say it, Luke. I thought you had me there.
I was going to say it, but I wanted to make sure it was a skill player. I needed that one note.
Yeah. I mean, TJ Hawkinson. I feel like when you think of the Detroit Lions right now, you're thinking about 4 or 5 guys: Jared Goff, DeAndre Swift, Rashad Perryman, and then TJ Hawkinson. So I kind of served that first one up there on a platter for you guys there. So kind of ease it in there. Kind of see what's going on, but I guess athlete number 2, Mr. Tori Anderson, the floor is yours.
Is it a basketball player?
It is a basketball player.
Are they currently in the playoffs?
No.
Oh, so we didn't tell you this part. You can use your cell phone on this too.
Yeah, you can obviously look.
Yeah. Nah, I'm going with memory on this one. I keep a lot of stuff up there in the old.
They're not in the playoffs.
They're not in the playoffs.
I mean, so that limits it to like 4 teams in the NBA.
Pretty much, right?
Did they lose in the play-in game?
They did not.
Oh, that eliminates my team. I thought it was.
Are they in the East?
They are not in the East.
Oh my God, I can't believe he didn't have to look that one up. Normally he's like, let me look.
I did my homework this time around.
He's like, I don't know. Is it Zion Williamson?
It's not Zion.
Okay. They're not in the East. I'm gonna take a shot because he took one. Is it Steph Curry?
It is not Steph Curry.
Mm.
So the Golden State Warriors were in the playoff game. Just
They were.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Yep.
Yep, they were.
That's why I thought it was that, because that's why I asked. I said, did they lose in the play-in games? And he said,
That's
no.
yeah, and you did. I thought about it too, but yeah.
So, is it Lonzo Ball?
it is not Lonzo Ball.
Oh, Lonzo Ball's like Buck's favorite player.
No, he's not.
Yeah. He
Okay.
I
Okay.
do like Lamar Ball though.
Who doesn't love Lamar? Let's see.
is. MJ.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Are they up for a contract this year?
Ooh, that's a
Ooh.
great question. That is a great question. I did not look that one up, but he shouldn't be. No, he's not.
Okay.
Is it John Wall?
It is not John Wall.
Not.
I've got this narrowed in.
You think you got it figured out?
Not totally, but I think I can narrow the scope.
Okay. I'm narrowing it down to two people. He's not in the contract year. And he's not in the East. Was he once a Piston?
He was not.
Did he play for the Kentucky Wildcats?
He did play for the Kentucky Wildcats. My Kentucky Wildcats.
Okay.
I should say
Okay.
these Kentucky Wildcats, I should say, right?
The Kentucky Wildcats. Let me think.
Oh, come on, man. It is so obvious at this
I think
point.
Torrey has it zeroed in.
I know he does, but I'm trying to think of the dude's name. I'm like Kentucky Wildcats. I'm running in my head the dude's name. I don't want to use my phone. I am going to. Is it Damian Lillard? Damian Lillard. I can't think of his name.
No, Damian Lillard played for UNLV, right? I'm not mistaken.
I know the player,
San
but I
Diego.
literally can see his face. I just can't think of his name for the life of me. And I'm not.
It is
gonna-
the KAT, the Carl Anthony Towns.
It is not Carl Anthony Towns.
Really?
Wow. Okay, I'm still in it. Good job. I appreciate that, Tori. Appreciate that. Okay. Kentucky Wildcats.
I got it now.
Google is your friend, huh? Okay. All right. All right.
No.
Is
Just
it-
because the Kentucky Wildcats are my second favorite basketball team in college.
Oh, okay. I'm picking up what you're
And-
putting down.
But on the bright side, that does narrow it down to like 15 guys. So
Okay. Does he play for a team whose logo is a bear?
no.
Is it De'Aaron Fox?
It is De'Aaron Fox. It is De'Aaron Fox. So the reason why I was confused about the contract extension, because I forgot that De'Aaron Fox signed an extension in 2019-2020 season for a 3-year extension. So technically he would have been up for extension this year, but he signed early. So De'Aaron Fox is the answer there. Buck, you missed me on the show, don't you? I don't know who that is. So Facebook user, go ahead. Is it? Okay. Yeah, I do miss you, buddy. Hey, happy 1-year anniversary, by the way there, bud. So congrats to that. So Mr. Torrey Anderson is 2-0 on the night.
I see.
Luke, I told you, man, you had your back up against the wall. I mean, Torrey is just notorious at this game. Like this is Torrey's game here. So
But when we play Liar Liar, you will probably beat me because I don't think I've won on Liar Liar yet.
Listen, it was harder than I thought.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, it is definitely hard, but sometimes when it's like Wyatt and Torrey, like I got to go like third or fourth string players because they read my mind so well. So Mr. Luke G, you are up here on the next one here. Yes or no question?
Okay. So we did football, we did basketball. Do they play baseball?
They do not.
Do they play football?
They do play football.
Are they in the AFC?
They are in the AFC.
Are they in the AFC East?
They are in the AFC East.
Is it Tua?
It is not Tua.
Damn it.
Is it Josh Allen?
It is not Josh Allen.
Okay. Still, Tori, I might be able to get you with this one, okay? I'm feeling good about myself, all right? Is it Sam Darnold? No, take that. Damn it, no. I forget he got traded. Jesus.
Yep.
We'll give you the freebie there.
God.
But no, it's not Sam Darnold.
Obviously, yeah.
Do they play for the Jets?
They do not.
They don't play for the Jets. Oh, is it Byron Jones?
It is not Byron Jones.
Do they play for the Patriots?
They do not. However, they will win the AFC East this season. Spoiler alert.
in the least surprising pick of all divisions.
Okay. Are they a skill position player?
They are a skill position.
Okay.
Did they play for the Kentucky Wildcats?
They did not.
No.
Okay, I think I'm feeling confident with this one. I'm feeling confident. I'm just take my shot.
Shoot.
Is it Devin Singletary?
It is not Devin Singletary.
That's a good guess because I was thinking along those. Do they play for the Buffalo Bills?
They do play for the Buffalo Bills.
If he say who I think it is, I'm gonna be disgusted. Let me see. All right, I'm going with it. Is it Stephon Diggs?
It is Stephon Diggs.
Oh, let's get it.
Stephon Diggs is a wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. He did have 127 catches last season for 1,535 yards for 8 touchdowns in the regular season. And the reason why we bring up Stephon Diggs is because the Buffalo Bills is the first team that we will be breaking down in the AFC East breakdown here, guys, coming up here on the Man Hour right after the break. So, Tori, you did win the game. But we're going to give Luke G two free minutes here because Luke G, the winner of this game, gets 2 free minutes to shout out anybody they want. You know, pay homage, do whatever you want. You have 2 minutes to the floor. Do whatever you like.
Well, you know, I want to make sure that I shout out every subscriber, every listener, every supporter, every father, every mother, every dad, every brother, every sister, every cousin, every good co-worker, every great boss, every great supervisor. If you just a good person, I want to shout you out. If you are constantly thinking of others more so than yourself, I want to shout you out. And if you are rocking with us tonight, I want to shout you out. I want to shout out the Man Hour for having me on here and for joining me on my show to talk a little football and to kind of mess my hair up with me going crazy with some of the takes. I just want to thank people who are beautiful, good people who's always in a good place. I want to thank football for making me have a bad addiction. Okay, can we do that? And I also want to thank you two for giving me a platform to share that 2 minutes. God, that felt good to get off my chest.
There we go. All right, so Luke G is the man of the hour right here, guys. Go ahead, head over to Luke G's YouTube page. I will repost the link here during the break, but we're going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we're going to start the AFC East breakdown, starting with the Buffalo Bills, the defending AFC East champs. So we will talk about that right here on the Man Hour, guys, shortly after the break. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Mr. White T-shirt wearer dude.
Mr. White shirt wearer dude.
Do you wear the same shirt every day?
Same shirt every day.
Do you do the same thing every day?
The same thing every day.
Don't you worry, Mr. White shirt wearer dude. Now with Man Hour merch, you can spice up your style each and every day. From hats to beanies to shirts, we got you covered, Mr. White shirt wearer dude. Shop at manhourradio.com. T-shirts start at $15. Shop today.
Why, thank you, manhourradio.com, for this awesome merch. Hats, t-shirts, $15. You can't go wrong.
Pretty obvious in that one. Dak's coming back off. You got Tom Brady and did I mention 22 starters coming back?
When I say Lamar Jackson is trash, I'm not saying he is the worst quarterback in the league, but he is definitely not the best quarterback in the league. When you say somebody is trash, it is based off the perception of the general public.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhosh with Tori Anderson tonight and special guest Luke G from Luke G Field Review over there on YouTube.com. I posted the link here in the chat, so hit that link, guys. Hit that subscribe button for him. Help him grow his channel, much like you guys are helping us grow ours each and every night by hitting that like button. That is all you gotta do. Simply hit that like button, help us grow. It helps us get the algorithm and trick the algorithm, and just it's all good times. If you guys missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and of course iHeartRadio, or simply head over to manhourradio.com and click on the podcast forum, and it'll play the up and latest podcast right there. So guys, it is time to get into the AFC talk here. The AFC East, I think many people are sleeping on the AFC East this season, but we are going to start with the Buffalo Bills. They had a magical run last season. They fell short to going to the Super Bowl. Surprise, surprise, surprise for the Buffalo Bills fans there. You guys love losing in the championship games. But with that being said, I'm going to kick it over to my man Tori Anderson first here. Tori, what record do you have the Buffalo Bills starting out this season?
I have them pretty much dominating this year. I have them going 15-2. And since, I didn't save it before, I have it saved now. But yeah, I redid it. And I have them, I'm like, wow, I really have them going 15-2. But looking at their schedule, they have it not terrible this year. They get the Jaguars, they get the Jets twice. They've got they played the Patriots twice, they play the Dolphins twice. I actually am going 6-0 in the division right there. So okay. The only game that I'm unsure of, and the game that I think is must-see football, is the Washington football team and the Buffalo Bills. And I believe I said that for the Washington football team as well. That's an early season heavyweight fight that is going to be a knockout, drag-out fight. Battle of the defenses, I believe. But I just think that the offense, the Buffalo Bills, has got just a little too much in the tank for the Washington football team to keep up with them.
So you had that Week 3 game matchup circled as the much-watched TV. I actually had the football team winning that game, so we maybe have to do a ice bucket challenge for that game coming in Week 3. I mean, of course, we will definitely pick our games when it gets a lot more close here. But let's kick it over to Luke G here, the man of the hour, our special guest here tonight on the Man Hour. Luke G, the Buffalo Bills had a pretty great run last season to the AFC Championship game, falling just short to the Kansas City Chiefs. But how do you have their overall record sitting in the 2021 season?
Yeah, I looked at this record a few times and tried to go back and forth on it. I think that they got a little bit of a interesting start with the 3 games at home and then 3 on the road and in the stretch end of it. So I kind of had them finishing out, which I can't believe I even said this, but I only had them at 11-6. So I looked at they schedule. I looked at some of the opponents. I think that there's going to be some teams who are going to sneak up on them because they fail to realize what running the ball can do for a team. And so the one game that I think is a must watch that you got to check is that Monday Night Football game at Tennessee. Because I think anytime they face teams who are able to run the ball against them, they're battle tested. But I don't know if they're going to be able to hold it up this time. And I think that it's some new hogs over there on Tennessee that can get them a few problems from what I can see.
Yeah, and we broke down the Tennessee Titans last night, and neither of us were really high on the Tennessee Titans at all. So that Week 6 matchup there, Luke, do you have the Buffalo Bills winning that game or the Tennessee Titans?
I have the Titans win that game.
Okay,
I do.
Corey, do you have the Bills win that game?
I do have the Bills winning that game.
Yeah, I actually had the Buffalo Bills winning that game as a game as well, and I had the Buffalo Bills going 13-4 on the season, 4-2 in the division. but I have them going 500 going into week 7, which is their bye week. I have them beating the Steelers opening week, but then I had them losing to Miami, losing to the football team, and losing to the Chiefs as well. So 3-3 going into the bye week, and they're kind of going to want that bye week. But then after that, I think their schedule gets a lot easier, and the only loss that I have them for the rest of the season, it's a Week 16 matchup versus the Patriots in New England. But at that time, they're kind of playing second string guys, and because they already had the division locked up, because it's going to be runaway pretty much after week 11, more or less here. So Luke G, let me kick it to you first here. We've set our key games here. What is a key game here in the schedule that you could see maybe the Bills are the best team in the AFC, or they fall out of the playoffs? Like, what game do you see on the schedule that is a must-win game?
So, one of the things I always look at is where they travel to, where they go, who they play in those travel games. For me, the must-win game that I think kickstarts, if they're going to have a kickstart that you talk about, is the Indianapolis Colts. Yep. Again, another team that can run the ball very well. They've added Carson Wentz. They've added some very good free agents and draft picks that I think can really bring something to the table for them. And I rarely bet against Frank Reich. So to me, if they're going to kickstart that run that you're talking about, then you're talking about them really showing it at home against the Colts.
Yeah, and Carson Wentz is a top 10 quarterback going into the 2021 season, so that would definitely be a true test for them. As Tori's shaking his head, what are you shaking your head about there, Tori?
Carson Wentz is not a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah. I puked in my throat and just choked on it. I was like, what did he just say again? Why does he do this to us?
When Carson Wentz wins the MVP this year, you'll thank me later.
What do you want to put on that one? I will take the field on that one all day long.
If I win, you can take Cindy off of my hands for the next 3 or 4 years. No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I mean, wait. I'll take that back because I thought you were going to say the kids, and I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Oh, yeah, you can have the kids too. No. So Tori. Sorry, Luke G. Do you have the Bills winning that Week 11 game versus the Colts?
I have them winning the game. I think it's going to be a dogfight, though. I really do. I think it's going to be tough because the one thing with the Bills that I've always noticed is certain games they get up for, and then other games they seem to play down to their talent too often, and it's happened a whole lot last year, and that's why I think when you look at this team going into this week, I see some challenges, but yeah, they should definitely win this game. It's just going to be a dogfight for me.
Yeah, I mean, playing at home it is huge there. So, Tori, just a quick answer here. Do you have the Bills beating the Colts Week 11?
Yes, because I have the Colts going 8-9 this year now.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I am not high on the Colts at all.
You are dumb for that.
I like the Colts. I like the Colts. I am just not high on them. I do not think Carson Wentz is a good quarterback.
So basically what you're saying is you are going to be a closet Colts fan. So you are dating the fat girl, but you don't want anybody to know about it. Like you secretly think they're going to go 13-4, but they're like, 8-8. I'm a 8-9.
I'm a Jonathan Taylor fan just because he's a Badger, and I am pulling for him to be great in the NFL. And that's I wish the Colts nothing but success. I just don't think they do it with Carson Wentz. In 3 years, they can draft Graham Mertz.
Ruben, what is up, man? I see you in there. Big shout out to you for tuning in tonight. But Ruben says Carson Wentz is not a top 10 quarterback. So let me ask you guys this. Since we're talking Carson Wentz, we're talking top 10 here. Give me 10 better quarterbacks than Carson Wentz in the NFL right now.
Are you serious?
Right now?
I'm serious.
All right, let's go for it.
Okay. Baker Mayfield.
No.
Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Tom Brady, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan.
No.
Josh Allen. Did I say Josh Allen already?
No, you did. But that's
Josh Allen. Yep. That's 7.
No,
that's 7. I've said. Dak.
Matt Ryan is not a top 15 quarterback right now. Baker Mayfield will take 3 steps back this season, and you'll see him his rookie year basically all over again.
Justin Herbert, Jimmy G, Matt Stafford, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, I would put David Carr over Carson Wentz.
Are you starting from the bottom up? Because I heard a bunch of 20 and 15 ranked quarterbacks in the NFL that you just name in there. Come on, Jimmy G. When has he played more than 8 games in a season, Tori?
Yeah, Mahomes. Yeah, I even throw Mahomes in there.
I'll give you.
But still,
give
Jimmy
Mahomes.
Jimmy G. When Jimmy G's in there and healthy, he's a better quarterback than Carson Wentz.
Yeah, the two key words there, Corey: when healthy and when in there. When is he in there?
And
50% of the time.
You could say the same thing about Carson Wentz, though. Carson Wentz is a China doll too.
He tore his ACL one season and he's been in there ever
then
since.
He broke his neck and.
Well, that's because the Eagles suck, but
because of Carson Wentz.
So Luke G.
Okay, I'm just going to give you 10. I'm going to give you a swift 10. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford.
I'll give you that one.
Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen. I mean, let me keep going.
Let's keep thinking. Let's keep digging.
No, it's just I'm just going through the list. You know, I want to make sure I'm fair to everybody, right?
Drew says Jameis Winston. Get out of here.
No
Get out of
way.
here.
No way, Jameis Winston. But I would say, let me see. God, I'm drawing blanks because I want to make sure I'm being fair to Carson. I want to be fair to Carson.
But you're not, because now you're digging. And
no, I'm not. It's just I want to be fair
Justin
to him.
Justin Herbert's a better quarterback than he is.
So
Justin or Bear, whichever way you pronounce it.
So I will give you that one, but I'm putting an asterisk by that one because I'm curious of how he does in year 2.
Dak's a better quarterback.
I am curious of how he does. Yeah, I would put Dak ahead of Carson Wentz.
Yep.
I would also put. Let me see. I would put Ben Roethlisberger ahead of him, even at this stage. Even at this stage, you got to keep in mind he's going to be put into a situation that's setting him up for success. Right. I would still put him ahead of him. I already said Deshaun Watson. I'm pretty sure I did.
If not, that's kind of a given. I think Deshaun Watson's probably top 5, honestly.
I do too, but
I would say Jared Goff is better than Carson Wentz.
Ooh.
Yeah. Availability is one. He's available.
Goff is definitely better than Andy Dalton.
Everybody's better than Andy Dalton
right there.
Everybody's better than Andy Dalton. Dalton can't be better than Andy Dalton, but he somehow is better than Andy Dalton.
So let me bring up this comment here. Ruben, my man, my brother from another mother, he says Rodgers, Brady, Watson, Allen, Wilson, Mahomes, Stafford. So there is 8. So I will give you those 8, and then throw in Dak. That's 7, and Dak is 8 there. But then after that, 9 and 10, like it's kind of.
You don't think Kyler Murray's better?
Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback than
Lamar. I
would give you Kyler.
I left him off just because I know you was going to say no to Lamar. Period. So there's no reason to name him.
Trevor Lawrence hasn't played a game, and he's better than Carson Wentz.
Okay, this is going off the rails real quick. So we talked overall record here. We've talked some key games here, but Luke G, I'm going to kick it to you first. Who has to be a MVP for the Buffalo Bills to have them have a successful season?
Oh, this is 100% easy. I know I'm gonna probably be on the outside of this thinking, but to me, the MVP for that team needs to be Devin Singletary. They need a run game outside of Josh Allen. I'm tired of them calling plays for Josh Allen to be their run game. You're not going to survive in this league with that. Nobody is afraid of your run game, and if they're going to have that, then Devin Singletary or Zach Moss, one of those two, need to start to run this ball and be more consistent in the runs that they have. Otherwise, they're going to do the same thing they did this past season and get sent home when they can't run the ball.
Right. That's a great pick there, Tori.
So Luke stole my pick, so I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy. Why? So I'll say Zach Moss. I'm just kidding, not saying Zach. But I'm going to say Ed Oliver on the defense continue to emerge and become dominant in order to keep that defense where it's been and where it's going. He needs to basically become the Reggie White of that defense. He needs to just take over the ownership, take over the leadership. You got, I don't know if Jerry Hughes is even going to be there after cutdowns. I think he might end up getting cut this year, but this is the year it becomes his defense. This is the year it becomes, he becomes that dominant defensive player that every DC in the league knows where he is at all times on the field.
Yeah, so I was actually going to go Ed Oliver as well, but I don't want to be that guy. And Jerry Hughes is getting cut because he's not getting his COVID shot. So they're see you later, big guy, right? But I'm going to say Cole Beasley has to have another big season because Cole Beasley has consistently been a solid number 2 for every team that he has been a part of. Yes, the Cowboys and Bills. I know, but I am curious of like how him and Stephon Diggs grow together and they help each other out. I think Cole Beasley has a big season this year simply because Josh Allen is going to have the MVP caliber season unless Mitchell Trubisky steps up and starts breathing down his neck, and then Josh Allen's just going to crumble. So we definitely probably won't see that happening.
Can I ask you a question? Ask you a question? Don't you feel like if Cole Beasley is a person who is stepping up, that's pretty much of the same that they were doing last season? I mean, like I don't think that's enough. Like they've been there, and Cole Beasley is not somebody that you look at to be your hero. Like, I feel like if they are targeting the tight end more, that might help.
Yeah.
Right, Dawson. Right, Dawson.
So 1 second here. The Buffalo Bills went 13-3 last season, right?
Yes.
So how much more does Cole Beasley have to step up for them to really repeat that process? Looking at their schedule, it's a pretty easy schedule. Let's just be honest. Let's call it a spade a spade. It's an easy ass schedule. So if Cole Beasley does exactly what he did last season, and they don't run into the Chiefs, they'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, but the problem is that same team. The same team in terms of yards was 3rd in passing. So they were doing that, right? And they were 20th in rushing yards and 17th in rushing attempts. That's not going to get you any wins when you're just so one-dimensional. And so if you're going to sit up there and be asking for Cole Beasley to step up, you're doing yourself a disservice because who is going to really be afraid of you? I know you're going to be a passing team. I'm going to play the pass. Good luck with the run.
You know who is going to be afraid of you?
Who's that?
The Green Bay Packers, because they cannot stop the pass in the postseason. Right?
Yeah, but you only play them once, and they're not in your conference, so it don't even matter.
Right.
So, and this is going to just sound completely counterintuitive, but this is where I think that the addition of Emmanuel Sanders to that offense really helps them. It's going to you got another receiver that can take the lid off, so you actually keep them from keeping another man up close to the line. You're going to have to account for Emmanuel Sanders as well when he's on the field. So you're going to have Diggs, you're going to have Sanders and Beasley. You are not doubling up on anybody. So therefore, you're going to start loosening up that running game. And the way that Devin Singletary is built, the more that the field is spread out and he could be in single back sets, the more useful he's going to be as a running back.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on here, guys, to the next team here, and that is the New England Patriots, as we're getting a little tight on time here, so I want to keep you guys on track so we can fit everything in here. So the New England Patriots, they obviously had a down season last year. Tom Brady was no longer at the helm. Cam Newton kind of did his thing for the first 3 or 4 weeks and then fell off the face of the earth. So, Luke G., I'm going to kick it to you first here. What's the overall record for the New England Patriots this season?
So this is the team that I think makes the biggest jump. I cold-heartedly believe they're going to make the biggest jump, and I have them at 12-5. So here's a team that last year somehow I'm pretty sure that this was all planned. They strategically had a lot of people opt out. They had a number of injuries on top of those opt-outs, and their starting quarterback, Cam Newton, ended up getting COVID, which he himself admitted threw him back behind the 8-ball because he had to sit out that entire time and then get back into rhythm. With us now being more aware of what COVID is and how to handle it and how to quarantine and get things going, I don't see that being an issue for him. But the biggest part is what they did in the offseason. They went full out balls to the wall and get everything you can need to improve upon the defense, improve upon the offense, improve upon the run game, improve upon the pass game. They're already talking to themselves about trying to take Julio Jones. This is a team that I think strategically did things to set themselves up to get back into the driver's seat because they just wanted to be high enough to get a draft pick.
Yeah, and with everything that they did last season, they were still 7-9. So they literally had all second-string defensive players, and they're still 7-9 on the season. So, Tori, what do you have the Patriots' overall record this season?
So, roster as is right now, I have them going 9-8. They add Julio, that's an automatic 3 more wins to that roster. So, I basically their floor is 9-8. Their ceiling is probably 12-5. In my book, like they said, if they get Julio, which potentially could happen, since we know he's not going to Green Bay when Ultra Weed Hater got us this morning.
Yeah, he did.
So, if they add Julio, a weapon of that caliber in that offense is going to do miracles for everybody around there. Again, Julio is just one of those players that automatically makes everybody around him better. So
right. And what was your record again? I'm sorry, I forgot to write that.
I have him at 9-8 currently.
9-8, and Luke G had him at 12-4, right?
12-5.
17
games.
Right. Yeah, 12-5. So I had them actually going 10-7. So originally, when I first did the breakdown, I had them at 8-9. But then looking back on it and kind of playing some games out in my head, I picked up an extra 2 games for them, giving a 10-7 game here. One game that I have circled is that Week 7 game versus the New York Jets when the Jets are coming off of the bye and they come into New England, and I think the Jets upset New England that particular game, and that pisses Bill Belichick off, and that is when the Patriots start to roll and like start to click on the season. Tori, what game do you have circled on the schedule?
Oh, Week 4, Brady Bowl. Brady goes back to Foxborough. Like, tickets right now are insane for that game. I think that the Patriots give them one heck of a run for their money in that game because they know every single tendency that Tom Brady has.
Right.
So I actually have them losing this game, but I barely have them losing this game. I think they come out and they punch Tampa Bay in the mouth, and Tampa Bay barely hangs on.
Wow, and I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers blowing them out in that game. I think Tom Brady has a lot to prove in that particular game. Luke, what game do you have circled?
Again, I hate to sound like a repeating drum, but listen, I got the Week 13 on the road against Buffalo. Yep. Again, you figure this is a team that's starting to come up. They definitely have put them on notice in terms of being a better team. And the biggest part of it is they get a bye week 14. And if you are already struggling and you're talking about it's December and you don't get that win on the road, and now you're talking about the other part of your schedule where you still got to come home to play them. You still got to play Miami on the road and the Colts on the road. It's just not looking too good for you in that little bitty stretch, in my opinion. Yeah. So that, first of all, great bye week for them, but it's a great way to go into that bye week, get people rested and get ready for the playoffs. If you take a loss there and now you come on the road off of that bye week and play the Colts and take a loss, we got a problem. So that's the game I got circled. However, I'm giving them the slight edge to beat the Bills. Just a slight edge.
Okay. So you do have them winning that Week 13 game over the Buffalo Bills. Tori, I'm assuming you had the Buffalo Bills since you had them going like 15-2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I actually had the Buffalo Bills winning that game as well. So Luke G brought up a great point here. The second half of the New England Patriots schedule, that's kind of a gauntlet, guys. I mean, they play the Bills twice in like a month. They play the Colts, and then they travel to Miami, where historically they lose almost all the time for whatever reason. So is what part of their season, guys, is it, like, do they have to like really hammer out some wins so they can get through that gauntlet of like a 500 schedule and still make the playoffs? Tori?
So I've got the week 6 through 9 stretch. I actually have them going 3-1 in that stretch. So I have them beating the Cowboys, I have them beating the Jets. I have them losing to the Chargers, and then I have them beating the Patriots. To me, if they want to make the playoffs, they have to take that stretch and they have to keep going 3-1. After that, if they take down the Browns at home in Week 10, that's just going to pad things for them. And there again, like everything could change if it breaks and that they actually did get Julio.
Wow, you had them going 3-1 that stretch. I actually had them going 1-3 and 3 in that stretch. I do have them beating the Dallas Cowboys, but losing to the Jets, Chargers, and Panthers. So that's kind of intriguing to me that we're like almost polar opposites on that. So Tori, who is your MVP for the New England Patriots this season?
Whatever running back they have, their whole you might as well say their whole running back core, just because Belichick is the master of knowing who to put in what situation. He just knows his guys' tendencies of who to start and who to use against which opponent. He is really, really good that way. As much as I like to say anything good about Belichick, he is amazing that way to know to put his players in the best position to succeed against whoever they're playing. So honestly, for me, it's their running back core.
So the whole core. Luke G, what about you?
Okay, so I can follow his logic and seeing that it's going to be the running back core, but I'm going to go on the other end of it to the defense. I think the MVP is somebody who they just added, who came off a really good season with Baltimore, and I think they are expecting him to keep that up. I think it could be Matt Judon. Okay. I just feel like Matt Judon being able to not have to be the focal point when you got a Dante Hightower, a Kyle Van Noy, you got Bentley, it sets you up perfectly to do some things. So yeah, I can see that being the case for them, where Matt Judon is the guy that ends up being a huge leaps and bound contributor for the New England's success.
And I feel like I'm gonna go the easy route here, because usually I pick up a defensive player or a receiver, but I gotta stick with the quarterback. I gotta go with Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton has to start off hot this season. He has to start off 3 or 4-0 this season and basically say, this is my team. Sorry, Mac. You're going to sit this year on the bench, learn, and I'll teach you, but this is my team. So basically, Cam Newton has to have an MVP caliber season for them to go 10-7 in my eyes, because I don't think Mac Jones is NFL ready, and if they put him in too early, we are looking at another Mitchell Trubisky situation in New England. I think Bill Belichick is smart enough to understand that. So hopefully, if Cam Newton does happen to go down, you put in a Jared Stidham or a Brian Hoyer, which they both like they all have on the roster. So let's go ahead and jump into the chat here, as JBG says, I'm a new daddy. He's here. So definitely shout out to you, man. Like,
yes, congratulations.
Fatherhood is a huge thing. So I have 2 boys. Combs has 7 kids. Wyatt's lady friend wants to have like a lot of kids, and Tori, lucky for you, you can't have kids. So no, but fatherhood is like amazing. So congratulations to him on that. 100%. So guys, before we go to our next break, do you have any closing thoughts of the first 2 teams that we've broken down so far here on the Man Hour?
Well, I think when you look at the New England Patriots and you look at Buffalo, it's going to be the tale of 2 teams. Do you buy the tape that you saw last season, or do you trust that what you saw out of New England was the New England without Tom Brady? I tend to think that what I saw out of New England was not the regular New England. And when it comes to people like the Bills, I suspect that they're going to be a good team, but New England's going to take their crown back from them.
Tori, what about you?
I just think that the Buffalo Bills proved that they become the dominant team, much like they were in the early 90s, and they are the kings of this division for the foreseeable future. The rest of the division is not that far off, though. It's not going to be like it was during the reign of terror for the Patriots there. So this is a much improved division overall, with the exception of maybe the Jets. But I really like this division. This is going to be fun football to watch for the next couple of years in that division.
Alrighty, guys. So we've broken down half of the AFC East. We are going to jump into our next game called Liar Liar. I will tell the guys 2 lies and 1 truth, and they have to guess what it is. So it's mainly sports related, but we'll sprinkle in a little bit of dabble here as well. But we're going to take a quick little break here on the Man Hour, and Liar Liar is up next here on the Man Hour. We'll be right back, guys. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Welcome back to the show here. It is time for the infamous Liar Liar, as I was texting my wife because apparently my kids. So Luke G, what you don't know about my boys is they have a problem of keeping clothes on. And now my 1-year-old has learned how to take off his diaper.
No.
And he is running around the house bare ass now.
No.
So I have 2 naked boys running around the yard right now, and they're having a grand old time over there.
Join the club.
So,
my 1-year-old's doing the same thing. It's so.
All right, guys. So it is time for Liar Liar. For those of you that are new here, Liar Liar is exactly what it sounds. I will tell the boys 2 lies and 1 truth, and they have to figure out which one is which. So since Luke G is the special guest of like honor here, I will let him have the inaugural one tonight here. So with that being said here, the first clue here is Michael Jordan's 43-foot shot is the longest shot length of his career. James Fix, the creator of the word jogging, died from a heart attack while jogging. And the last clue, bowling is a state sport in Kansas. So we have Michael Jordan's 43-foot shot, James Nick died from a heart attack while jogging, and bowling is a Kansas state sport.
You know what? I tend to know little strange stuff like this, and my soul is telling me that the truth is that bowling is a state sport.
So bowling is a state sport in Kansas.
In Kansas.
All right. Tori, what about you?
Before we go, we got to address this comment about your boys. So Bo says it's a natural thing. I didn't grow out of that until I got arrested.
Shout out to you, Bo. Shout out to you.
Wow. Hopefully my boys don't go down that route, because Sydney would have a heart attack if like that were to
my
happen.
God.
Wow. Leave it to Bo to have a great one.
I was looking at Bo, so I didn't hear a word you said.
So Luke said that bowling is a state sport in Kansas.
Okay, that one I got. The second one was
James Fix, the creator of the word jogging, died from a heart attack while jogging.
And what was the first one?
Michael Jordan's 43-foot jump shot was the longest shot of his career.
I'm going to go with the dude that died of a heart attack jogging, just because I would take about 10 steps jogging and probably die myself.
All righty. So we do have the first point on the board tonight, and that is going to go out to Mr. Tori Anderson. So Fox tossing, sorry, let me scroll back up. James Fix was the word of the created the word jogging, died of a heart attack while jogging. He was jogging for a little over 5 minutes before he suffered a massive heart attack and died.
Wow.
So
I could beat that record. Like I said, I could go like 10 steps and probably die of a heart attack.
I felt like it sounded true, but I was like, it's just too good to be true.
Oh, I'm going to be like, no, it was like, I didn't know. I was
That's too good to be true. But
I knew the state sport from wasn't in Kansas because my sister lives in Kansas, and I know that's not true.
Okay, so moving on to the next one here. Each year, so Tori, you are going to go first on this one here. Each year, about 100 million bikes are produced worldwide. Clue number 2: Steph Curry did not make his first 3 until his senior year of high school. Okay, and Sporting KC has the most championships in the town of Kansas City. So we have like 100 million bikes are produced worldwide, and then Sporting KC has the most championships in the city, and Steph Curry did not make his first 3 until his senior year of high school.
I feel like 100 million for bikes is really low, so I don't think it's that one. So I give me the Sporting Kansas one.
Sporting KC has the most championships in Kansas.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm staying away from Google on this. I'm going with sounds most logical.
Yeah, no, phones are off limit on this one.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
forgot to give you the guidelines.
Yeah, I'm never going to use the phone. I want to go for the guess. How many bikes they say were made?
100 million.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
See, that just sounds low to me, though.
I mean, if you just think about some of the other places where biking is normal,
yeah,
it makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. But I think 100 million is a low number. I think it's more than that because we're like one of the only countries that drives everywhere.
True. But Luke G does have his first point of the night. Each year, about 100 million bikes are produced worldwide. So, fun fact: the average bike rider in the Tour de France goes through 5 bikes throughout the tour. So,
see,
that is.
See, I would have thought it was more bikes than that were made in the world a year. I really would have.
Yeah, considering there's billions of people on the planet, right? I mean,
right.
So, all right, so. It is 1-1 here. So the next one up here, Sprinter. So Luke G, you'll be going first on this one here. Sprinter Mike Fox ran the fastest 100-yard dash at 16.6 seconds at the age of 98. Basketball in the state of Michigan was banned from 1902 to 1930. And then the last one here, the world record for the most consecutive push-ups was set in 1980 from a guy from Japan who managed to do 10,507 push-ups in a row.
It's that one. It's the push-up one. I'm going with that one. That's the truth.
Okay.
What was the first one?
The first one is, where's it at here? Sprinter Mike Fox ran the fastest 100-yard dash at the age of 89 in 16.1 seconds.
I'm taking Mike Fox, baby. Mike Fox, 89 years old for the win.
Yeah. Well, Tori, I can tell you that Michael J. Fox is not 98 years old, and
I actually knew that.
That is where I came up with that name. But the world record, so Luke G did get it. The world record for the most consecutive push-ups in a row was set in 1980 by Muro Yadashi from Japan. Did 10,507 push-ups in a row. So
let's get it. I'll take it.
That to me is crazy.
I told you I'm terrible at this game.
Yeah, when he said the Michael Fox, I was like, oh, that's my guy from the Back to the Future.
Yeah, or Spin City and whatever. Yep. What else, right? So, all righty here. So, next one up here, Tori, you will go first on this particular one here. The boxing ring is called a ring because it used to be round instead of its present day form. So the spectators used to stand in a circle a around the fighter when it first became a popular sport. Next one, boxing was banned in the state of Kentucky from 1880 to 1942. And then during the 2004 Soccer World Cup, Anna Jong from South Korea scored a goal against Italy in injury time, knocking out the Italians for the first time in the World Cup.
I'm gonna take the World Cup one.
So 2004 soccer team, South
yes.
Korea. Okay.
I'm going with the boxing being banned in Kentucky. I felt like I heard that somewhere before, so I'm going with the boxing ban in Kentucky.
All righty. So Luke G, you are leading the score 2-1 here. Neither of you get the point tonight. Trevor Bauer scores his first point of the night. So, Tori, it was actually 2002 World Cup soccer team from South Korea beat Italy for the first time. I totally made that boxing one banned up. Fun fact here: Muhammad Ali is from Louisville, Kentucky. So, I mean, I don't think boxing was ever banned. I was debating just because way back before boxing rings, they would stand around in the circle.
Right, I knew that.
So boxing ring. So I was like, God, that sounded like it could be true. And I was originally leaning until you read the third one. I'm like, I remember something about that, but I didn't know the year.
Yeah. So the truth is the boxing ring used to be a round circle. So that is the truth there. All right. Okay. So.
It felt too good to be true, but it did because I remember it was somewhere where boxing was banned, and I just can't remember exactly where.
I believe we did that in I think it was in Australia, if I remember correctly.
I think it was.
Yeah. I think it was Australia. So all right. So Tori, you were up here on this next one here. The first clue is professional U.S. swimmer Michael Phelps has won more gold medals than more than 80% of all countries in the history of the Olympic Games. So 80% of all the Olympic Games here. Moving down to the next one. For car races, Nissan only uses the number 32 on all of their vehicles. So Nissan only uses the number 32 on all of their vehicles for car races. During the and then the last clue here, during the 1910 Summer Olympics in St. Louis, American Frederick Lorez was the first to reach the finish line in the marathon race. It turned out, however, he covered half the distance in a car, so he cheated.
What was the first one again?
The first one is Michael Phelps has more gold medals than 80% of the countries in the Olympic Games.
And what was the second?
The second one is Nissan only uses the number 32 on all of their racing vehicles.
I'm going to go with Michael Phelps has more medals than 80% of countries in the Olympics.
Okay. Luke, to you.
Yeah, I feel like I heard again. I have a strange wife. She always comes up with these unnecessary facts. I think it's the one where the guy cheated in the marathon. In fact, I think they've ran a spoof about this in a number of different movies. I think it's the one where the guy covered half the mile in the car.
All right, so we do have a point issue to one of you guys. It is not Luke G. So Luke G, that is the half truth on the covered car here. He did cover half of the marathon in a car, but it was the 1904 for a Olympics, not the 1910 ones. But Tori, you are right. Michael Phelps does have over 80% more than all the countries in like medals.
I knew that because.
Oh, my bad. I must have been on that night. So my bad. So Luke, we'll give you the point and we'll give you the win for tonight.
I knew that something happened like that where a guy got in the car, but it was the year that you gave that was wrong. So okay.
Yeah. So here was the last fact that I had on paper written down here. So the sport of badminton was initially called punana.
What?
So that was my next truth here for you guys. So the sport of badminton
punana with the shuttlecock.
Yeah, punana. Like I'm gonna go get me some.
And that's
punana.
true.
So
that's interesting.
All right, guys. So we're going to take our next break. We're going to break down the rest of the AFC East here. We do have the New York Football Jets and the Miami Dolphins coming up here on the Man Hour. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this little break from myself. Oh, wrong button. Push the right button, Buck. Okay.
What is your name? What? What is your name? Buck. Where did you get that shirt?
It's funny that you should ask that. Head over to manhourradio.com. You can pick up the shirt up. $15.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhouse along with Tori Anderson tonight and special guest Luke G from Luke G Field Review over there on YouTube. I posted the link in the description. I'm going to post it again in the chat here, guys. Head over there, hit that subscribe button for him, help him grow. So let's go ahead and welcome the boys back onto the screen here. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can go to youtube.com/Man Hour and check out the clips throughout each and every day there. So we have broken down the Buffalo Bills, we've broken down the New England Patriots, but it is now time to jump back into the AFC West here. The AFC East, I should say, and we are going to break down the New York Football Jets. The Jets were, guys, let's just be flat honest, they were not good last season. They finished the season 2-14. However, they did win the last two of their last three, basically assuring that they are the worst tanking team in all of NFL football. Luke G, I know you do not believe in tanking, but I do believe the New York Jets were tanking all season. and Adam Gaze is like, wait a second, my job is on the line. So he went out and beat the Browns and he beat the Rams week 15 and week 16 last season. So with all that being said, they did get a quarterback in the draft. They Tori, I think they had one of their better drafts in recent memory here, and I think you are kind of on board with that as as well. No, okay. I thought they did, but Luke G, what's the overall record for the New York Football Jets this season?
I got a lot of love for the Jets. I think they did some changes. I got a lot of love for the head coach. But unfortunately, I see this team basically going 7-10. It's rough. I think the way the schedule is set up, them having to go against the Bills, the Patriots, and the Dolphins twice, those are 6 games that they should sweat about. And I don't know if they've done enough to set their quarterback up to succeed. George Fant at right tackle, as a Seahawks fan as well, I never liked him. And he was mad at best. Tevin Coleman, is he gonna stay healthy? And I see some step back. So I got him at 7-10.
So I mean that is definitely a big improvement from the 2-14 record last season here. I mean that's 5+ wins. So maybe they're making steps in the right direction. But Tori, where do you have them at this year?
So I have kind of the same numbers as Luke, except they're just in different order, and it's 0-17.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. This I gotta hear. I'll take that though, because Lions fans have been hearing that they're going to be the worst team for 2022.
Right. There's just not a ton of talent on this team, on this roster. The defense is going to instill fear in nobody. As Luke alluded to, they play in a tough division. They are probably going to lose every single division game. They're starting a rookie quarterback who I think will be one of the biggest busts of all time in the NFL draft.
Wow.
So, as I've been saying for the last 3 months, Zach Wilson is trash. I think Zach Wilson will be out of the league in 4 years.
Yeah.
Ow.
Wow. So, Tori, there are 3 things that are really hard to do in the NFL. One of them is go 17-0. The other one is go 0-17. And the third one is hard to do is win a Super Bowl. So you are telling me that the Jets are going to do one of those 3 things and go 0-17. I am mind boggled by that.
Yeah,
wow.
you're not alone.
My other one, I had them going 2-15. But when I just redid my predictor thing, and I was like going through them like and I looked, I'm like, holy crap, I have them going 0-17 now. So I got to go because based off the information I currently have, yes.
Wow. So we have 7-10 from Luke G and 0-17 from Tori. So I guess I got to breathe some logic into this conversation here, and like I'm going to go in 5-12 this season. I think they are going to sneak up on a few teams, i.e. the Patriots, i.e. the Broncos, i.e. possibly the Buffalo Bills. Stay tuned to that. See if they upset the Buffalo Bills. But I had them going 5-12 this season, and I think Zach Wilson is going to basically be hampered by the same issues that Sam Darnold was. Like, I don't think Sam Darnold is a bad quarterback by like any means. It's just the Jets situation is just not very, 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 very good. But you still have professional athletes on the field that have, pride. They're making a lot of money, and they bring in a new coach here, and maybe it will shake the bird cage enough to get them 5 or 6 wins on the season. So I want to go 5-12 here. But Tori,
can I ask a question though? I'm just curious.
Yep.
I didn't know that drinking was allowed on the show. Is that cool? Is that a cool thing?
Oh, absolutely. It's actually encouraged.
Okay. Okay.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Okay, because I'm starting to wonder if Tori's had too many. It's had too many drinks. 0-17.
This is my Crystal Light.
Really?
So Luke, I know you are a special guest here, but we do have a game here on the show. Every time you talk about your home or team without being solicited, you have to take a drink. So yeah.
Yeah, I did it once, so I technically I'm only one in, so I'm good.
Yeah,
I was just questioning,
But yeah, I'm questioning 0-17 because looking at their schedule,
right?
They do play the Jaguars, they do play the Eagles, they do play the Texans. I mean, they do play the Patriots. I mean, we all think the Patriots are going to be better, but they still play. I mean, it is still a division game, right? I mean, Tori, 0-17, man.
All right, they play Houston. They play. I mean,
but the thing is, in the last 10 years, we've had 2 teams do it.
True. Do what?
Go 0-7 or 0-16.
Go winless.
So you had the Browns do it. You had the Lions do it. So
that ain't been 2 years. The Lions ain't been. Oh, you trying to get me drunk? You think you're slick?
No, in the last. I said in the last 10 years.
10 years. No,
Yeah,
I don't think. No, I think we passed 10 years. We went 0-16 in 2008.
Yeah. So
Was
15
it?
years. 15
Yeah,
years.
but still, for
Yeah.
for it to haven't happened in the league in how long, and it's happened twice now. So, is it really that uncommon, or was it an Jesus, I can't say the anomaly.
Yeah. Welcome to my world, man. Welcome to my world.
Phenomena.
Yeah. So, Tori, 0-17. What game do you have circled that they could possibly win? Like you're like, well, they might beat the Jaguars. They might beat the Jets.
The Jaguars are literally the Jaguars and the Texans. I would think they'd have a better shot to beat the Texans.
Really? Okay. Luke, what game do you have circled on that on the roster?
All right, so simply, I looked at this and I said, this to me, it's about setting statements and getting your team confidence build up. Week 2 at home against New England. If you are a for real team who has turned the corner and you're going to have a shot to do something, you got to come home. You got to beat New England. You just have to. That's the team that's going to be in your way. They're going to cause you problems. And if that game goes in a way where I usually know if they mess around and beat New England, that's a lot of confidence heading into a game against Denver and Tennessee and the Falcons before you get your bye week. So you got to beat that division rival in New England at home. And I honestly, I think they can.
So you are correct on the game, but you are wrong on the week. I actually have that week 7 game circled as because the Jets are coming off their bye and they're going into Foxborough, and I think they can upset the Patriots at home that particular week. Actually, guys, week 5, 7, and 8, I had them going 3-0 in those 3 games, beating the Falcons, beating the Patriots, and beating the Cincinnati Bengals at home. I think those 3 games are kind of that measuring stick for the Jets going forward, because if they can actually go 3-0, I think that gives them confidence going into the Indianapolis game. I think they get thumped by a top 10 quarterback in the league, but they are still going to compete. So
yeah, it's brutal though. Once that bye week happens, it gets terrifying. I mean, Colts, Buffalo,
Miami.
It gets brutal. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of a team that was just picking 2nd overall. You're talking about trying to give your quarterback confidence, trying to give your offense confidence. A guy who's going to dive head first into his defense with Robert Saleh, and then you're talking about week 7. If your confidence ain't built up by that point, and now you got to turn around and go on the road against Denver, it can get real suspect real fast. And then you got Tennessee, and you may not even see a win until the Bengals, if that's even possible. So New England, I think, it sets the tone.
Wait, don't be taking off the Bengals fan base. We've already done that once.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Receiver
say 17-0.
Yeah, the one guy was like, they're not going any worse than 10-7 this year. We're all like,
I'm sorry, what?
Huh?
So, Tori, let me ask you this question. Luke G keeps saying something about confidence. Do you think Zach Wilson needs to sit this year so the Jets can just be just as bad and get some top overall picks, and they pick up a veteran quarterback or maybe like a Taysom Hill or somebody to basically come in there and take the lumps for Zach Wilson this first year so he can gain some confidence for the Jets?
I would think that would be the smart play to do, because right now on the roster it's Zach Wilson, and tell me if you've heard of either of these guys, James Morgan and Mike White. I've never heard of either one of those guys.
I heard of a Mike White, but he was a receiver for West Virginia or something like that. No. So actually, Mike White is I believe he's from Western Kentucky or Kentucky. Is some school in Western Kentucky, and I remember him playing a couple years because I just moved to Southern Indiana, and Cindy asked me if I want to go watch Western Kentucky play. I'm like, yeah, awesome. Games, let's do it. And he you know, when you watch a game and that one guy is just like better than the rest, and you're like, wow, like why is this guy so much better? He kind of just he just has that it factor in college. Now, I don't know how that is translating into the NFL by any means, because I haven't watched any Jets games at all, because I don't want to watch them at all. But he had that it factor in college, and there's a reason why he is in the NFL. I just want to put that out there.
I love the question that you posed, though, because it is a confidence builder. But and I'm all for letting the player sit for a year, but they did do a good enough job to get him a receiving core, and he is mobile. And so at this point, it's about, did Robert Saleh put together a good staff that sets up that offense to play to his strength? I mean, you're talking about a team that got Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Denzel Mims. So you know, and if they do what I think they're going to do, because one thing I know about Robert Saleh, who comes from understanding how Kyle Shanahan gets things done, they're going to run the ball. So I think he should be good to go. I think he's coming into a better situation than most quarterbacks have come to in the past, where they don't have a lot of pieces. And the weakest side of the ball for me is the right side, but he should be able to survive that.
Okay, so with that being said, who is going to be your team MVP for the New York Jets this season?
So this was one of those ones that I looked at, and you know, I'm going to give the big fellas some love, but I'm going to give Mekhi Becton. I love what he do. I think he's 100% monster, and I think it's going to be hard to unseat him as the MVP. He's literally the guy now responsible for protecting your latest investment at quarterback.
Tori, what about you? MVP?
I'm going with probably one of the best linebackers in the league, Jarrad Davis.
Let's talk about it.
I'm just kidding. I said that purely for Luke.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I took every bit of it. I enjoyed all of that.
But I will say I'm going to stick to the defensive side of the ball, and I'm going to go with Vinny Curry. Vinny Curry had a couple of good years with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's still got a couple of good years left in him, and I kind of debated between him and C.J. Mosley, but this defense, if they want things to change, it's going to have to start with them, because them guys have a different attitude. Those guys have won Super Bowls. They've been to the big games. They've done it. They know how to win. And if you want to change the attitude of your defense and set that tone, you have two really good guys. And I think Vinny Curry, coming off that edge, is going to be asked to rush a lot more. I think they're going to learn a lot from him, and they're going to feed off him a lot more.
Yeah, so I'm going to piggyback off what like Luke said, but I think the right side of the offensive line, George Fant, has to have a great season, because if there is balance on the offensive line, because we know that the left side is probably going to be okay, but if the right side is able to hold their own and give Zach Wilson just 4 seconds to throw the ball, or like even 3 seconds to throw the ball, I think Mims and like Davis and Jameson Crowder will do just fine. So George Fant has to be that X factor for the New York Jets this season, for them to succeed, to even get 7 wins and Luke's eyes, and 5 wins and like my eyes. So basically, George Fant is going to probably have a bad season, because Torrey thinks we're going to go 0-17. That's right, 0-17.
I mean, I could have went with Braden Mann for their MVP, which is their punter.
Wow, you just in rare form tonight, I see.
No, this is Tory 101, 100% here. So, moving on to the last team in the AFC East here, we do have the Miami Dolphins. They shocked us last year. Let's just be flat out honest. Here on the Man Hour, we said they were about 2 years away of making big strides, and Ryan Fitzpatrick was playing out of his mind the first 5 or 6 weeks of the season. And then they're like, no, we're going to bring Tua in, and then they needed Ryan Fitzpatrick to basically relieve them, and I think that kind of just like messed up the chemistry on the team. Ryan Fitzpatrick is out. Tua is their guy now. They had a pretty solid draft as well. Tori, what is the overall record for the Miami Dolphins this year?
I actually have them finishing in second place in the AFC East, and I actually have them going 12-5.
Oh my god!
On the years, yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
Oh wow!
My
17 and 12-4. Oh sheesh.
12-5.
12-5. Oh sheesh. Oh man.
So I think Tua takes a step forward. There is too many weapons on that offense for them to not be able to put up points. And the defense, it's like I said, people don't talk about their defense. Their defense is one of the better defenses in this league. And a lot of the things that you saw that did surprise us last year was based around how well that defense played. They really didn't lose anybody from that defense last year. They're good. They improved on offense by bringing in Will Fuller. So where's not to see the progress? And they went 11-5 last year.
I believe so.
There was a 10-6. It was 11-5 or 10-6. So that's literally only a 1-game improvement. If it was,
but isn't Will Fuller suspended
for the first game?
Yep.
Okay.
So he was suspended for 6 games, but he didn't play the last five weeks of the season for the Texans. So Tori, the Miami Dolphins did go 10-6 last season. So you are correct on that one. But you said Tua will be taking a step forward. It is easy to take a step forward when you were the worst starting quarterback in the NFL per PFF last season. Luke G, what is your overall record for the Miami Dolphins?
Okay, I think if we had to cap it to where it was just 16 games, the record would have been a little bit better for me. But I have them at 9-8. I just don't see them. I think they got some opponents that are just going to be or should be cakewalks, in my opinion. You know, you're talking about going against people like, say, the Jets twice. And I feel like that's a good opportunity for them to sweep the Jets. Going against Jacksonville, going against the Falcons, going against Buffalo twice. I think they can get one from Buffalo. But then you got the Giants and the Panthers. And so you got Jameis Winston in December on New Orleans. So I like their odds to get 9 wins. But for me, I think they take a little bit of a step back and they lose their wits in with Tua and start to look for another quarterback.
Yeah, so I actually have the Dolphins going 8-9 this season, and I do have them winning 6 games in a row from week 9 to week 16 there. So that tells you how bad the first part of their season is going to be. However, if they can weather that storm, the first 6 weeks of the season when they don't get their first win till week 7, they will be okay. So that is a part of saying Tua is our guy and don't bail on him, right? But however, I think the Miami Dolphins are going to bail on Tua come about week 4, week 5, because they will be 0-5 at that point. The Tua Magic or the Tua Tuna or whatever they're calling him, or Tua Time or whatever the hell they're doing that hashtag in there. It is going to be his name's slipping my mind now. Backup
Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett. It is going to be Jacoby Brissett time in Miami, and he will lead them to 6 straight wins on the season, finishing the season 8-9. So, Tori, what game do you have circled on the Miami slated games this season?
Well, obviously, when they played the Buffalo Bills, very first time, just because they're, again, to be the man, you got to beat the man. I say that an awful lot while we're doing this. However, it holds
merch
true.
Coming.
I'm pretty sure Ric Flair's got that trademark, so I'm pretty sure we would get hammered on that one.
Oh, okay.
So I know that's trademark. So yeah, when you play the Bills, it's a measuring stick. They're obviously probably the second best team to me in that division. So it's a measuring stick to see how far you have to go. You know, that defense, the Bills are one of the most complete teams in all the NFL. The Dolphins are not quite there yet. they're close, but they are not quite there. So a lot of their stuff depends on if Myles Gaskin can A, repeat his performance from last year, B, stay healthy. Other than that, they got Mike Gesicki. They've got one of the deeper receiving cores in the league. You got Devontae Parker. You got Jalen Waddle. You got Will Fuller, Preston Williams, Lynn Bowden. And like we've talked about Albert Wilson, like how good he's done. He's listed at number 7 on their depth chart right now.
He wasn't very good for the Chiefs though either. So
yeah, he's a burner, but
yeah, that's about it. So do you have the Dolphins winning that game?
I do not.
You do not,
because I have the Bills going 15-2.
All righty,
and
so
I
Luke,
have them 6-0 in the division.
Luke, what game do you have circled on the roster or the games this season?
To me, it's the game that I think is going to be the most popular game, the game that many people are not talking about, but it's the game that's always the game that people can't help but talk about. It's the game in the battle of the Florida teams. That's week 5 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First of all, it's going to be a whole lot of talk about what the Bucs can do, and are they going to have a hangover, and can they claim their name? And so for me, I see a Dolphins team who's saying that this is our opportunity to show that we're no slouches. You know, what happened the year before is not the case, and we should be able to take ourselves right on over there from Miami over to Tampa and beat them and get a win. Now, keep in mind, I'm a Bucs fan, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think this is one of those games where it's a trap game for the Bucs, that they overlook the Dolphins, and the Dolphins win this game.
So you have Miami going into Tampa Bay and beating the Bucs, huh?
I do.
Week 5.
I do. So the things that I look at that stood out to me last year with the Bucs was in games where you were able to put pressure on Tom Brady, and you were able to get a fighting chance. And so the one thing I think about when I look at Miami is they have found ways to play defense on every level. And they do a very good job with their cornerbacks being able to shut some things down. So obviously the pick that really stood out to me was Jovan Holland. He has a knack for finding the ball, and he will locate it. And so a lot of those shorter routes is going to get played. But if you look at the way that they set their team up to get pressure, and what they did previously, I think they'll get to Tom Brady. Even though they have the Bucs have a good line, every now and then Bruce Arians will forget that he can run the ball. And so I think that what you will start to see is a team that comes in there thinking, oh, it's those guys over there, and they'll get caught off guard and take a L.
All right. So who is your MVP for the Miami Dolphins this season?
This is easy, hands down, 100%. In my opinion, going to end up being pretty much their tight end, Mike Gillespie. I suck at names, but Mike Gillespie. I think
Join
that's
the
how
club, man.
Dude,
Gesicki.
Okay, so Mike Gesicki. And the reason I say that is because of this. Everybody's expecting them to have this air show with William Fuller, who's probably going to be hurt, probably. And then Waddles, who's coming off of an injury. His best scapegoat is going to be his tight end. And so at that point, I see them in a position to basically set him up to when he don't have no other bailout, the tight end is there. I suspect that tight end is going to have a up season, and they're going to try their best to try to survive with Tua, who openly admitted that he was uncomfortable with calling plays as a rookie. So just putting it out there.
First things first, you never do that. I don't care if you're a rookie or a veteran. You never admit you're afraid to do something. Tori, who is your MVP?
So if you can repeat and keep it up, and I mentioned his name before, is Myles Gaskin. Everything's going to center around them being able to have a good, steady run game again this year. It's like I said, they have all the aerial weapons in the world, but a good running game is going to make Tua's life that much easier. So I think if Myles Gaskin stays healthy, he keeps producing at the rate that he did last year. Hands down, he could be their offensive MVP this year.
So I think the Facebook user is drunk because he says Buck is right. So hopefully that is my mama, because my mama always says I'm right. But
no, he was saying he's saying that I was right, but I know you wanted the credit for it, but I get it.
So with that being said, I think the MVP this year for the Miami Dolphins, it is not a starter as currently listed on the ESPN roster thing here. It's Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett is going to be the savior for this Miami team. If Tua is a starter, they could go 0-17 this season. I'm going to put it out there right now. If Tua is starter all 18 weeks, they might go 0-17. Jacoby
Did you just chastise me for saying the team going 0-17?
I said they could. I didn't say they wouldn't, because I actually had them beating the Buffalo Bills week number 2 because of the heat and the humidity and all that stuff. But Jacoby Brissett is going to be the savior for this Miami Dolphins team and giving them an 8-9 record. So, Tori, I'm not saying they will go 0-17 with Tua in there, but I said they could. It is a possibility. But if Tua is the quarterback, I have them going 3-14. So
I think Tua will be improved, but I think the vote of confidence is just not there with his head coach, and if that vote of confidence is not there, Tua is going to have to be leaps and bounds improved for him to keep him in the game.
We saw it all season when he would take him out when it was crunch time. Like, Tua, oh, sorry, bro, you gotta go sit at the bench. Where's Fitzmagic?
Yeah, but that it happens to a lot of rookie quarterbacks, and a lot of times it's confidence. I call it the lifesaver mode, where you basically tossing out a lifesaver to not destroy his confidence. So
yeah,
but yeah, I get it. It makes sense to me.
All right. So, any closing thoughts, guys, before we head to Shop Talk?
You know, I tell you this much: the AFC East is one of those divisions where it's going to be a lot of bumping of heads between each of the teams. But I think don't get caught up in last year's record. Look more so to the previous year, because last year was an anomaly, in my opinion. A lot of adjusting to protocols and stuff due to the pandemic. I suspect that Tua should be better, but if he's not, that's going to suck.
Tori, what about you?
San Dimas High School football rules.
What?
We'll be right back, guys, here on the Man Hour. Stay tuned, sit back, relax. Shop.com coming up. If you want to talk about something, let us know in the chat, or you can call in. Let me put the ticker up there. There you go. 812-406-8384. The phone lines are now open, guys. Stay tuned, and we'll get to Shop Talk here momentarily. Welcome back to the Man Hour, guys, as we play the greatest fight song ever invented on the face of the planet, the Kansas State Wildcats fight song there, the Cannonball Wabash. You guys know what it is. It is time for Shop Talk. Phone lines are open, 812-406-8384. If you don't want to call in, simply let us know in the chat, what do you want to talk about here? So I do want to address some of the comments that I saw here rolling out here, and this is going to revert back to the Miami Dolphins thing here that we were talking about earlier, guys. Like about the Tua quarterback situation. Facebook user says that the coaching is going to help him. I don't think the coaching is going to help him. I don't think coaching has 100% faith in Tua. That's why they picked up Jacoby Brissett as a backup. I'm just putting that out there. Well, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
The coach better help him. If he doesn't, he's in trouble because he had a Jalen Fields sitting there that he could have took. The fact that they took a receiver and Jalen Waddles tells me that he understands that he has to help him, because the ownership and the general manager is letting it be known to him that, hey, this is our guy. We're not going to waste another high draft pick on the quarterback here. Find a way to make it work. So he has to help him. The question is his true will to do so there? When he doesn't have a high vote of confidence in him.
Tori?
Yeah. I mean, that's what your head coach is there for, isn't it? The coach is supposed to be helping them. I think that Brian Flores is one of the better coaches in the league. And there again, the one thing that, like, you want to make a issue about the Jacoby Brissett thing, but any good head coach will know that you need a solid backup in case something does happen to your starter. The Green Bay Packers have learned that twice now, that not having a good backup quarterback will torpedo your season real quick. So, yeah, I really like the fact that they picked up Jacoby Brissett. But yeah, I think the coach is helping him, because if he's not, what the hell are you doing being a head coach if he's not there to help you?
Good point.
Well, he is also there to help the team win. So if Tua isn't their guy, and I don't have faith in him, that's why I got Jacoby Brissett, because I have faith in Jacoby Brissett, because I believe Flores was a coach in New England when Jacoby Brissett was there, right?
He was, but
Yeah, so-
there again, but why would you not pick up a guy that knows your system already too? I mean, that happens all the time in the league, that like a coach goes somewhere else, picks up a guy from the team that he was on, because if something happens, he knows the system, or his learning curve is not as steep. So,
True.
I mean, to me, it's one of those things. It makes sense. It was a great pickup. Don't get me wrong, but it makes sense that if something goes sideways, he's got a good backup plan in place.
So way earlier in the show here, I'm talking 2 hours ago here, right when Luke G came on and we told you guys that he is a Detroit Lions guy, Drew over here in the chat come out and said that Barry Sanders was the greatest running back of all time. I clapped back him and I said Emmitt Smith is the greatest or the greatest running back of like all time. Luke is already laughing here. So Luke, is Barry Sanders the greatest running back of all time?
Absolutely. Let's be honest here, right? There's no talk of the Great Wall of Detroit going on around here. Nobody talks about that. It took Emmitt Smith how many more years to stay in the league to get the record that Barry was about to break before he just decided enough is enough? Like, Emmitt Smith was in the league at least another 4 or 5 more years before that. I mean, he had already been on how many more teams? He was on the Cardinals. He had been around. To put Emmitt Smith there based solely on statistics would be doing a disservice. There are so many more talented running backs than Emmitt Smith. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm just saying that if he was anything like Barry, or he could do anything like Barry was doing, we wouldn't have to have this debate. Barry is such a special talent that you may never, ever, ever, ever see a running back like Barry Sanders again. I've already seen a bunch of Emmitt Smiths, and it's because he's not such a special talent to where he can be put on the level of a Barry Sanders. That guy knew in order for him to submit himself as the top running back and get in before Barry, he had to play longer and get more yards.
Tori,
is Barry the best ever? I would say it's a 1 and 1A between him and Jim Brown. Emmitt Smith, if you're going to say Emmitt Smith's the greatest running back, then Frank Gore's the second greatest running back of all time.
Good point.
Frank Gore has played in the league. Longevity plays a part into that. Adrian Peterson, look at him. He's played until he's 34, 35. Is he still with Detroit? Did Detroit resign him?
Not that I'm aware of.
Because I can't think if they did or not, but still,
Luke's probably the guy to ask that.
You say is who still in Detroit?
Did they resign Adrian Peterson?
No, they have DeAndre Swift and they added Jamal Williams, and then they drafted Jamar Jefferson out of Oregon State.
Yep. All right. So yeah, but there again, like, to me, that kind of tainted AP's thing. Just, should have hung it up when you hung it up. But there again, some guys don't. But that, to me, Emmitt Smith just kept playing long after he was an effective running back to me, which tarnishes it. And I don't think, to me, the yards, yeah, okay, you're number one in NFL rushing, but to me, it loses its luster after that point, where like Barry walked away perfectly healthy, was going to probably break the record the next year. And
that year,
and Emmett, it's like I said, Emmett just kept playing. So it's like I said, by that standard, Frank Gore would be the second best running back. I think he's like second or third all time now in rushing yards.
Yeah.
So but he's played for like 15 years. So that's where I don't think that Emmett. I don't even think Emmett's in the top 5.
No.
So I've been looking at some numbers here and years and teams they play with and like whatnot, but we are overlooking probably one of the most underrated running backs of all time, LaDainian Tomlinson from the San Diego Chargers. LT, man, he played what, 10 years in the league, and he had just under 14,000 yards. Yes, Barry Sanders had 15 or 16,000 yards and played just as many seasons, but LT had more. Like he helped his team more than I think Barry Sanders helped his team.
That's because they didn't know how to build around Barry Sanders. The team was literally awful. He was that team.
Yeah. I mean, you got to keep in mind the Lions. The Lions in 1991 went 12-4. Their starting quarterback that year was Rodney Peete. He was not very good. They end up getting all the way to the NFC Championship with a guy named Eric Kramer. I know who. That's what I said too, right? Nope. Who was not very good. And yeah, they had a good defense, but essentially he had to run. The things that you look at that stand out with me with Barry versus Emmett. Emmett has never had a 2,000-yard rushing season. Barry has, right? Emmett has never had an 1,800-yard rushing season. Barry has. Emmett has had one of the greatest offensive lines in NFL history. And again, he played 15 years. 15 years he played in with this guy. And you look at Barry, who I believe gave 10 years it was that he gave him, or 10. So 10 years, a guy played 5 more years after him. And just to get a record that would have never been there. Now keep this in mind too. Barry had 3,062 rushing yards, right? And still had a 5-yard average per carry rushing average. That's nuts in a 10-year season. That's nuts. If you were to go and look at Emmitt Smith's career, after 15 years, it's 4.2. And if you were to just look at his 13 years with Dallas, you're talking about 4.2 there. And then with Arizona, obviously, because he was still there for no reason, 3.3. A guy who did that, and yes, he had like 4,000 rushing attempts because he was trying to catch the guy that he knew he was going to forever be compared to. Sorry. Not sorry.
Corey, do you think there's an opportunity for anybody in the NFL right now to take that crown from Barry?
As the greatest running back?
We don't care what you think, Tori, because that's how we're going to end the show tonight. Man Hour Nation, rise up. After show has started, guys. Join us on the after show. Much appreciated. Have a great night, guys.